Hey, everybody. We are talking the We Love Tech Awards with Russ from Business Intelligence Group. Russ, how are you?
I am great. I'm looking forward to the deadline coming up next week, March 27th. So
It
we're
is.
getting
Time
close.
flies. It feels like we're just at CES yesterday. I can't believe we're already towards the end of March. Before that, and an update on the We Love Tech Awards, maybe introduce yourself and the great work you're doing at Business Intelligence Group.
Yeah. So we're Business Intelligence Group, and we're running about 13 different awards programs, some for us and some for others like Evan. And this is our second year doing the We Love Tech Awards. And this is going to be an amazing year because of all the AI stuff that's coming out, in my opinion. I know you saw a lot of it at CDS, but we're really excited to see what companies have in store for, their customers, their employees, kind of bringing that enterprise tech into the real world.
Fantastic. And remind us why genuine recognition through an awards program with real judges is such a powerful signal these days and why it's really catching on.
Well, to me, it's all about authenticity and transparency. And, today, in today's world, the AI world, it's getting harder and harder to determine what is authentic. And so programs like mine and programs like ours, this is the We Love Tech Awards, we use actual real people to judge these programs. You can go, you can look them up, you can message them on LinkedIn if you want, and they're giving you real feedback. And that's really important too. So if you're a product manager or a founder and you want real life feedback about your product, we've got amazing judges from amazing companies that are, giving you that authentic, true award experience. This isn't, AI awards that are judged by themselves or anything else. These are real people going through and reading, scoring your nominations. So that's what I think really makes everything different about these programs.
Yeah, it was fantastic. In the first inaugural We Love Tech Awards uh, program last year, the dozens and dozens, hundreds of interested parties, and really the amazing enterprise grade products and solutions that were nominated. I had a blast. I learned about so many amazing innovators and solution providers and use cases. I had no idea. Tell us about, from your perspective, how that first year went and some of the feedback and why we decided to run the second annual We Love Tech Awards.
Well, I think the people really appreciated the exposure in the audience that you brought this year, last year to this program. That's something that always is important to people is you want to get recognized, but you want the exposure for that recognition. So your audience really allows us to do that, to bring some more exposure to those winners. I think, what are you up to now? Over 500,000 people on YouTube, and now you're on Bloomberg television and everything else. You've got your audience is expanding every day, it seems like.
Yeah, and it's out of pure passion and love for technology and innovation, and I love discovery and learning and education, and that's why these We Love Tech Awards is so interesting. The amount of innovation out there, not just AI, but beyond AI, is just incredible in areas like MedTech, collaboration, CX, contact center. I mean, we're in this Cambrian explosion of innovation around apps and cloud, and it's just so fun seeing this ecosystem flourish, starting at CES, but I was recently at Mobile World Congress. The mobile world is as exciting and dynamic as ever. I was at HIMSS, where health tech and digital health and the Internet of Medical Things, not just for consumers, but for providers and healthcare systems, is at an all-time high as we're all getting older. And
That's right.
even at Enterprise Connect, where we saw the latest and greatest in customer engagement technology, contact center technology, it's just a great time to be in tech, isn't it?
It really is. It's so enabling. AI has enabled so much that you're right. It's not all about AI, but AI has enabled so much that it let loose the creativity and the innovation. I feel like what was the one thing at that show at CDS or HIMSS that stood out to you? Was there a common theme that stood out to you that you saw?
Yeah, I think the move from the trials and proof of concepts to real world deployments in frontline worker environments in hospitals and warehouses and with nurses and in the hands of patients, even for remote healthcare monitoring. I mean, there's a move to real deployment, And again, it's proceeding, in the enterprise carefully, deliberately, unlike consumer where we just throw everything out there and it sticks, whatever sticks to the wall sticks. But it's just an amazing time to be in the technology space, despite all the macro and global economic challenge. Now is the time to be an innovator, to be a creator, even to be a developer. Um, and also, a prosumer. I call myself sort of a prosumer, professional consumer. I use 6, 7, 8, 10 different tools. I understand you've been coding as well. What a great time to be a founder or a creator or a maker.
Yeah, absolutely. It is so enabling. The AI technologies are so enabling. And I can't imagine, being at the head of an IT department or the head of a CIO organization right now and having these tools. It's almost like, where do you start? The resources are almost endless now. And so it really is interesting to see some of the great technologies coming out of AI, coming out of healthcare. As you said, we're seeing tons of innovation in healthcare. We had a program earlier this year, the Big Innovation Awards. Our biggest winner was a healthcare company, Alcon, for a new machine they developed that does back of eye and front of eye surgery in the same machine.
Wow.
So it's very evident that people are out there solving real problems with new technologies, and it's really exciting time.
It's exciting and important. I'm off to the RSA conference in San Francisco, and there it's all about how do you equip our defenders, our white hats, our security teams with the tools needed to protect, defend individuals and the enterprise. As the attackers get smarter, so do the defenders. And so AI is really coming to the rescue of many of the analysts and security teams out there who are burnt out and overwhelmed with all of the threats. So, and that applies to defense in general in the DoD world and beyond, but also to enterprises and security. So there's really no part of this world that goes untouched by AI and AI, related technologies. And what a great time to recognize them with the We Love Tech Awards. If you're an innovator, a creator, a founder, a big company with a product or solution you'd like to nominate, get that nomination in. You have a couple more weeks.
Yeah, and what you said so true. It's I think everybody is feeling pressure and they feel overwhelmed. It's like I feel that especially as I'm trying to go into this new technology world too. You almost feel overwhelmed with the amount you can do, but it is important to step back and to take a breath and to look at what you've done and to recognize what you've done and to see the progress that you've made. And that's what these awards are about. It's about stepping back and looking at the progress. You're making progress with your customers, you're making progress with your employees, and you as a person are making progress. And we'd like to see those awards too, the People Awards, where we're recognizing more people. I have a stat that I like
a ton of humanity behind all this innovation.
It's why we do it.
Yeah.
It's why we do it. And I have a stat for you. What percentage of awards do you think are won by people? Business awards, not the Oscars, of course. But what percentage of awards do you think are won by people?
20%, 10%?
It's less than 10%.
Okay.
Less than 10% of nominations coming in are for people, and that's got to change, in my opinion. So we're doing a lot this year for empowering the people, because we think we do all this work for ourselves, right? We do it to make humanity better. So let's recognize ourselves
I love that.
as well.
I love that in particular as a podcaster and an interviewer, TV host. You don't have a company on your show. Right? You have an individual, a person, an engineer, an executive, whoever it may be. And it's kind of in this AI world that human to human conversation, what we're doing now, is the last bastion of humanity. It can't yet be faked.
It sure feels like it.
Yeah, and so that's why I've had thousands of interviews. That's why I love doing it. It's just an amazing way to connect, meet people, learn from people. More importantly, and I think the We Love Tech Awards is an extension of that.
Well, what's funny is in the We Love Tech Awards, we give out a blockchain certificate. So they're digital certificates, and they're actually really cool. They go right on a LinkedIn profile. And what's amazing is if you're not winning for a person, it's a little hard to get that on your profile, right? So if you won for a company or a product, we can sure do that, but it's going to say the product name on there. It's a little weird. So these digital badges that we give out, I think they can go on your company page, on your LinkedIn company page if you have a promoted page. But these awards really go on people's LinkedIn certificates, and they become assets, for your employees. So, take a look at those. Take a look at the award categories, because there's a lot of categories for people in our program.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So give us a rundown of the timeline, the deadline, and what's next.
So we've got the deadline coming up on March 27th. I know a guy if you need a little extra time. But we do go to judging. So our judges take their time. Nominations are very easy to put in. They're all online. You can go get the nomination guide at welovetechawards.com. If you download the nomination guide, give it to your marketing people. They know what to do with it. They have awards, they've nominated for before. It's basically a case study. If you think about awards nomination, it's, what did you do? How did it work? And what did you solve? What problem did you solve? So the nomination is pretty easy to put together. Then we spend about 2 weeks judging those nominations. We have about 4,000 judges around the world that score and review nominations for us. And so all that data comes back. The data is really amazing now. We get to see all the data on how people did and kind of all the metrics about the performance of the program, which is pretty cool. AI now does that for us instead of hiring data scientists. And then we get to reward people, which is my favorite part of the job. And we get to tell people how great they are, and then they get to tell the world how great they are. So it's a great process, in my opinion.
Yeah,
But I'm
so
partial.
fun last year, and it's only going to get bigger over time. I hope to be talking in 10 years about the 10th annual We Love Tech Awards.
That's
Just
correct.
imagine where we'll be with holograms and AI, augmented reality, and goodness knows what else. What a trip we're on.
It absolutely is. I can't imagine. What do you think 10 years from now, other than a hologram, will bring us? Do you see
I hope
something
we'll be
out
on the
there that
beach,
was?
and my 15 agents will be dutifully handling my business for me, and occasionally checking in between margaritas as to critical decisions. But if the current market is any indication, we might be there in just a few years and not 10.
Yeah, we might be there in 1 or 2 if it looks like it. If NVIDIA can keep up with demand, right?
Touche.
Yeah. Well, I am
All
excited.
right, Russ.
This is going to be a great program this year. We had some amazing winners last year. I know we'll have a couple repeat winners. We always do. So looking forward to seeing all those nominations.
I can't wait to see the nominations. I see them personally, and also the awards. And good luck, everyone. Way more fun than the Oscars.
Way more fun. And no slaps.
Exactly. Thanks, Russ. You do an amazing job.
Thank you.
And thanks, everyone, for listening, watching, sharing, and, of course, nominating your favorite solution. Take care.